Wednesday. I'm excited. The playoffs are around, man. Big things. We're in the dance. It's the dance time. Anyway, Wednesday, October 26th, 6 Central, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. We have the number 3 seed in the Teal, Minneapolis, at the number 2 seed, Sioux Falls. What you got, though?
Well, we've had these two teams battle each other twice this year. Both times Sioux Falls won 34-20 and 45-21, both decisive victories. Wasn't much of a game. Outgained them 466 to 343, 435 to 394. So, that being stated, I did pick Minneapolis to go to the championship. And I'm going to stick to my guns. Minneapolis is going to the championship. I might be the one lone person that's going to pick them to win. So, I'm still going to pick them. This is going to be the game where T-Pat is going to have to pull the rabbit out of the hat. Will he do it? Yes.
I like Sioux Falls. I like Sioux Falls because though they have a dearth of targets, talented targets on offense, as opposed to most teams who have, either 4 or 5 skill positions for the quarterback to throw to. They have 3. But they make those 3 work. And the first time they ran against Minneapolis, all 3 targets had 100 yards with, receiving. The second time they faced each other, Minneapolis took away Jennings, but in slanting the field too much his way, Beasley and Cannon went off. It's a case of both pick your poison for Minneapolis and Tyree playing like Tyree has played this whole season. He's had a couple of hiccups here and there. And again, when facing Minneapolis, it's all about keeping the ball away from Kimo Kaleka. He is the difference maker on that defense. Whenever you get too loose with that ball, get a little, and you let it get, and it gets within his vicinity, he will hurt you. He will take that ball away and provide opportunities for Minneapolis to then, throw it to Jalen, throw it to Boas in the flat, lean on you with Boas in the running game. But I can't see Tyree doing that in that fashion. Now, Minneapolis might, like I said, they have to pick their poison. Or do they want to take away Beasley's swing passes? But in doing so, they would open themselves up down the field for Caesar Cannon and Jordan Jennings to hurt him there. Or will they take away the big play and let Beasley matriculate the ball on the field, creating first downs, and then hoping that they could slow him down enough and instead of stopping the offense, just continuing the offense. But then if you
mentioned that swing pass, I'll give you this. This is the shocking stat for me when I broke this game down. It's not Jordan Jennings who eats up the maulers. It's not Beasley who eats up the maulers. It's Caesar Cannon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'll give you these numbers for all 3 guys, and this is just like holy smokes when you hear these freaking numbers. In the first game, which was back in September the 17th, you had these following numbers. Jordan Jennings had 9 catches for 130 yards and a score.
Yeah.
Beasley had 11 catches for 103 yards, and Caesar Cannon had 11 catches as well, but he had 203 yards and a score.
Yep.
That's
that
just
generic
insane.
corner. There's that generic corner on that side. Remember the one I can't stand? Yeah.
Then in October, when they played again, you had Jordan Jennings with 5 catches for 73 yards. Caesar Cannon had 8 catches for 143 yards and a score, and Beasley had 20 catches for 135 yards and 2 scores. So Jennings is not like he's being held irrelevant because he's still getting his. It's just Cannon is eating them up, and then Beasley's still doing his thing. And I'm going to throw this stat out there. In the first game, Kyrie and Wavy combined for 6 interceptions, and in the second game, they combined for 7 interceptions.
Mm-hmm. The ball's in the air a lot when these two teams play. They don't even pretend to try to run. Like, there's not even a play action here or there. It's just drop back throw, drop back throw, drop back throw. So, and the way the game kind of tries to tilt the field toward gold receivers, I fully expect Minneapolis to, try to mitigate the damage Jennings can do. I'd rather listen, it's death by 1,000 cuts. The swing pass, that's what it is. It's death by 1,000 cuts. And I don't know if they'd rather, die with one stab or a bunch of small nicks. And that's the decision they have to make in Minneapolis. Do you stop the big stab, which is the big play to Jennings down the field that goes for 50, or that creates a touchdown? Or do or by taking that away, Cannon's getting open against the generic corner, or Beasley's in the flat by himself, just piling up first down after first down? Or do you take Beasley away? But in doing so, you're opening yourself up for that one gigantic stab by Jennings or Caesar Cannon. So it's like, pick your poison.
I'll say this. Minneapolis needs to take everybody out of the game by using the clock, and it has nothing to do with it being my player. They need to run the football in this football game. They need to use the clock. They need to keep Sioux Falls off the field, and that's a way of maintaining not just one of them, but all 3 of them.
No, I agree there. They need to lean on Boas, and just the only thing about that though is that they're running to a team whose run defense is pretty darn good. So possessing that ball in that fashion, sounds great. Everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. That's what Mike Tyson said. So, it sounds great, but if you come into that contest and you run it and it's 2nd and 10 and you run it again and it's 3rd and 9 and punt, and you get the ball back, let's see you hold it to field goal, and you 3 and out, punt, right? So I would say, Minneapolis, continue to do what you do offensively because you have one of the better offenses in the league. They pile up first downs as well as anybody in the league. So I wouldn't say, completely eschew what got you to the playoffs to begin with. But defensively, you have to make a decision about what can you live with? What can you live with giving up so you could stop something that's more malignant from happening? And because if I'm as a DC, I'm looking at this and I'm like, wow, Minneapolis defense this season was not good to begin with. And now I'm tasked with devising a plan of who to take away and who I'm just going to have to live with hurting me. Yeah, I don't like that question, and that's why I like Sioux Falls. It's going to be a close contest depending on how they go about it. If they say, you know what, we're not giving up any big plays, we'll live with Beasley's hurting us on the ground and in the flat. Okay, that might bring up tight ball game. 4th quarter might be up for grabs because Minneapolis is going to be able to move the ball, if they continue to do what they've done all year. But if they say, you know what, we're taking away Beasley and we'll live with, Jennings and Cannon, whatever damage they do. Oh, well, that might not be the smartest way to go about it because, Jennings get loose, that's a touchdown. Cannon gets loose, that's 2 touchdowns, and now you're playing catch up, and catch up means Boas isn't a factor because those flat passes ain't gonna get you down the field fast enough for you to score a touchdown. And that's why I like Sioux Falls. They've done it all year. Their offense was solved. Question mark, someone was able to slow down the offense enough to pull away. with a victory twice, and that third game was just a battle. It was a shootout. I wouldn't say Santa Fe solved the offense. They forced some turnovers, but I won't say Santa Fe solved their offense and came away with that victory because they still scored 30 points. So I like Sioux Falls because of that, because their offense running into a defense that hasn't really stopped anybody this season. That's why I like them.